Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's go ahead and get into the recap for Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 2, Blind Dates. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, both scripted and reality, where I recap the episode while interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into the recap. If you enjoyed that type of content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed tonight's video, and what else? Hop into the comment section and let's talk about what happened on tonight's episode. So the episode starts off with a brunch. So the entire cast is going to meet for brunch. It's usually where Tommy gives them like direction or how they're going to maneuver, how, the process is going to work. So Clifton is sitting down with Joy, right? Tiffany comes over and sits next to them. Clifton speaks to her. Hey, how you doing? She looks irritated. She legit looks mad about it. And I was kind of like, what are you getting mad for? And he tells her, I'm going to speak to anybody, that comes over in my area. And she was like, I just didn't want to interject. I don't know what it is about Tiffany. She gave bad vibes. She gave bad vibes. So she is kind of on her to see it from last season where she's wondering why her name even got called at the mixer. And I think what some of these ladies need to kind of understand, because they seem to take it to heart, you didn't connect as well as some of the other ladies did. That's what it is. It's not that you're a terrible person. It's not that you're not attractive. You just did not connect with these men as well as some of the other ladies did. And you know what, sweetheart? That's okay. It happens. It happens. I feel like they get way too upset over their name being in the bottom. You're still there, girl. You live to see another day in the process. Use this time. Use that as an opportunity to reflect on what maybe you did not do the best and go forward. But I hate when they have an attitude about that. So Tiffany goes and sits with Wiley. While she's sitting down with Wiley, they're talking about how they're matching with their, their neutral tones on. And Dakia comes and sits down with Demetrius. Tiffany said that was not okay with her. Okay. She came and sat with her own date. This isn't a date, y'all. You know that, right, Tiffany? This isn't a date. This is y'all being at brunch with everybody is, but okay, girl. So Dakia asks Wiley if he is Chuck Brown's son. For those of y'all that don't know, as they said in the show, Chuck Brown is like a DC musical great. He invented go-go music. I grew up, so my aunt on my dad's side, my dad's older sister, is huge into the blues, country, and then DC music. So we listened to a lot of Chuck Brown growing up. So as soon as she said Chuck Brown and then go-go, I knew exactly who she was talking about. So Wiley was like, yeah, but he, doesn't want to lead with that because he doesn't want to be known as that. He wants people to get to know him for who he is and not who his father is. But he does kind of admit to it. So while they're talking, Tommy comes in and tells them that there will be one new man and one new woman that will be joining. The way that they're going to incorporate these new people is they're going to go on blind dates with them. So Ace is going to represent the women and go and meet the new guy that's joining, and Laverne is going to represent the men and meet the new woman that's joining. He tells Laverne, make sure she's able to talk. Don't talk that woman's ear off. Have a conversation, which means I say something. I pause to let you talk. While you're talking, I'm listening and understanding. I'm not pausing just so I can respond back to you. So, but we know Laverne likes to talk. So that's how we're going to meet the new people. They're going to go on blind dates to kind of ease them into the situation. And I think that's way better than last season having two new people come into a pool party and the woman is being, stared at by the women like a piece of meat, and then the women are all flocking over to the man. So I like this way of, let's put you up with one person and then see how that goes. So Clifton is talking to Ace, and he tells Ace that he hopes she has an awful date, kind of joking with her. And he says because he wasn't able to go on a date with her yet. So it's like, I haven't even had a chance to talk to you yet, but you're getting ready to go out with some other brand new man. So it's just great conversation. that they're having. So Dakia tells Demetrius that he gives her big DE, big dig energy, and I can definitely see that with Demetrius. It's mainly because he is so, like, you can tell he's a man that is like super comfortable in his manhood. He just like exudes power for some reason. It could be because he has a background in the military, but he just seems like he can come over and like unclog the tub and then put together my new TV stand and then hang my TV on the wall and then go outside and clean the gutters. Like he like exudes. I mean, he gives big dick energy. There's no way around it. So Wiley is talking to Dakia and the way he was sweating. I need some men and some women too to understand that certain colors just aren't for them if they're going to be in a situation where they are going to be perspiring that way. While that mustard, golden rod, yellowish color looked good on Wiley, all I could see and all I could focus on was the sweat marks. That's all I could see and focus on was them pits. But she kind of just makes sure that he was okay with her, asking if he was Chuck Brown's son. And he said it's cool, like it's fine. It's just not something he leads with. So while they're talking, she was kind of on some, he's a little younger than me. So, she didn't really think that they would vibe. But she said Wiley gave her a look that kind of, melted her a little bit. So I like Wiley. I do. I like Wiley. I think Wiley's cute. Wiley seems like he has good energy. He has a good personality. And in that little brief time that they talked, she seemed to have connected with Wiley a little more as well. I like this season way better than last season so far because I feel like the women, for one, the women all don't seem catty, Brown Girl Squad. They don't all seem as catty. And I feel like we're able to see more connections build because it's a smaller sample pool. So then finally we have Clifton and Joy. We know they had a good connection from the beginning. So Joy is like, well, they're getting ready to, wrap everything up. Clifton is like, no, we ain't about to go. I haven't talked to you yet. I want my 5 minutes of time with you. So they sit down and he wants, get some time with her. And Joy said that when a man shows interest in you like that, where he's like demanding and commanding time with you, like it speaks volume to your connection and that he really likes you. And I agree. Like when you have a man that is like really trying to see you, trying to connect with you, like that's what his focus is. It's not just oh, okay. Oh, we get ready to go? Okay, cool. But for him to do that, to kind of pull her close, like, yeah. I like Joy and Clifton together. I do. I like that I like them together. Aesthetically, they look very pleasing, and you can just see the chemistry that is like just bouncing off of them so far. So Laverne goes on his blind date. Okay, we meet the new single. Her name is Carmen. She is a brand manager. She's in brand management for athletes. She said that because she is like constantly at work, it's hard for her to find the time to go out and meet people and date effectively. She also said that she's not good at flirting. So then they come out, like, and you can see that they instantly like each other physically. And Laverne tells her that this is his first blind date and that she has popped his cherry. I said, okay. So they start talking about how they work out. He tells her she's thick. She's like, well, I work out 5 days a week. He said, well, I work out 6. And he like stands up to show her how, toned his thighs are. And she's grabbing on his butt. And I said, oh, this is a lot. Y'all are doing a lot on the first date. But they hit it off immediately. They find out that they are both alum of the Air Force, veterans of the Air Force. And they were both like, why didn't you leave with that? Why didn't you leave with that? So, like, you can just see, like, layers of connection building and building and building for them. So, he has 2 kids. He is divorced, been divorced for 10 years. She has 1 son. She is divorced. This season, everybody has been married. Everybody is divorced. This is, like, the divorced season. So, I don't know how these people are ready for love. I guess I take the premise of Ready to Love to be people that have not been married yet. I wouldn't peg somebody that has like been married and divorced and all that other type of stuff as somebody that is now ready to love. I guess we're looking at, their kind of second chance at life, second chance at a love life, but I don't know. It's a lot of divorced people on here. A lot of divorced people. So he asks her, how would she check a man if he's kind of getting out of line while they're in like a group setting? So she kind of leans forward and it's just on some, you need to chill. You need to chill the fuck out. We can talk about this later. He liked that. He said, because she exudes like power. I mean, she had a big gaudy, tacky necklace that said powerful on, but she like exudes like power. He noticed that she's an alpha female. So he says that not only is he attracted to her body, but he's really attracted to her personality. Like, she is just kind of like really the total package. So they hug it out on the way, after the date is over, and he kisses her on the cheek. And I'm like, they're going to have something between the two of them. Like, they like, their chemistry was crazy. So then we have Ace and her blind date, who is Cornelius. Cornelius is a real estate agent, investor. He's a big old teddy bear, but he also felt the need to tell us he was a millionaire. No one asked you how much you made. No one asked you how much you made. I thought that was very tacky. He wanted us to know that he's a millionaire and that $1 million isn't a lot of money. Well, excuse the hell out of me, Cornelius. $1 million is a lot to me because I don't have $1 million. So I like that really, I want to like Cornelius, but you coming out telling us that you're a multimillionaire or you're a millionaire, we didn't ask for that. Nobody asked you about that. So he said that he has never been married, but he has been close to being married, and he can acknowledge and admit that it was him. He was the problem. So he said he's looking for a long-term connection. He's big on mental health therapy. He feels that as black people, we just have, trauma from being black. It's Black History Month, but, we just have trauma from being black, living in everyday life. So he's really big on that. Ace said that she went through a period of self-love. So she learned how to not only love on herself, but how she has learned how to love a man the way that they deserve to be loved. And I think that's very important to note, because a lot of people don't kind of realize that when you go on like a self-love journey, you're not only helping yourself, but you're also helping yourself to learn how to love others. There are so many people that get in relationships and don't know how to love others. And that ends up being, the ultimate demise of that relationship. So he said that the 3 things that would make him happy are ocean breeze, new money, and great sex. He said that he feels that people that don't put sex up as a top priority, he can't fool with you, because sex is a top priority for him. They exchanged numbers. They had a good time. They want to go out on the second date. So we get Paul and Joy. P.O. He ain't P.O. no more, and now he's just Paul. I think because he done sobered up a little bit. So Paul's order said he has a drink waiting for Joy. It's a vodka soda with lime. And then he asked her, what does settling down look like for her? She said being in one place kind of makes her cringe. Paul feels that it's time for him to settle down and, start building a home and building a family. Joy is like, while she thinks that Paul is cool, Joy only has eyes, and she only is focusing on her connection that she has with Clifton. That's literally all she talks about. That's all she feels. But it's still good that she at least went out with him. Meanwhile, Clifton is on a date with Dakia. And Clifton said that while Joy is his strongest connection, him and Dakia had good chemistry. The conversation did flow very nicely between the two of them. They talk about premarital sex. He asked her, how does she feel about it? Does she want to wait? She was like, no, let's do it. He's mentioned, premarital sex to a lot of people is important, because if sex is important to you in a relationship, you don't want to wait to get married to somebody, find out the sex is whack, and now you're married to this person. So yeah, premarital sex is important. Definitely is important. So then we have a big group date. Cornelius, Paul, Sabrina, Tiffany. I don't know who the 5th lady was. Dakia, Precious, and it's another one. They favor to me. I think that was Precious. So if it wasn't Precious, y'all let me know. But they were playing ping pong, and it was the ladies against the men, and Paul was serving that ball like he was at the ping pong Olympics. And even Cornelius is like, you supposed to let the ladies win. He was spiking that ball, and I said, Paul is so annoying, y'all. How is he still here? So, Precious asked Paul, they kind of peel off, if he feels that he can be rigid and guarded. He said he feels that he's just being tactful. You have to handle different people different ways. Some women like to be talked to with aggression. Some women like to be, kind of sugar-coated. He's just trying to be tactful in how he approaches the situation. So she asked him, how does he think that she wants to be talked to? He was like, aggressive. So then we have Sabrina and Tiffany, and they are talking to Cornelius. Sabrina walks off, and Cornelius is talking to Tiffany, and she asks him, what is he looking for? A life partner, a wife? He said those are interchangeable to him. He said a wife and a life partner are interchangeable. Tiffany said, no, they are not. I am looking for a husband. While she's like, putting the paddle on the table to emphasize her point. And I'm like, Tiffany, girl, this is like strike two of you being kind of for no reason. So Cornelius was like, oh, I don't like this at all. No, I don't like this at all. Because Cornelius, whose voice is like velvet, like his speaking voice reminds me of like Barry White. Just very smooth, very smooth. So Tiffany goes over, because she's done with Cornelius. Walks over to Paul, and when she sits down, Paul was like, if you were at a spoken word night, what would your set be called? And I had the same reaction as Tiffany. What the hell are you talking about? Like, what a question to ask. See, Paul doesn't know how to have conversations. Paul feels that getting to know somebody is asking a series of questions, and that's not how that goes. So then he asks her, do you speak to the cashier at a grocery store when you're checking out? Granted, I think it's an important question because, I was a cashier through high school and college. So I know how rude customers can be. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of this is your 100th customer for the day, and you're saying hello to people and they're being rude and not speaking back. So I get it. And I feel like if I'm with somebody and I don't see you say hello, I'm like low-key judging you, and I'm going to ask you, why you didn't say hi? So I'm going to have that conversation, but it's not a conversation that you lead with when you're trying to get to know somebody. I thought that was weird. So she was like, I don't want to answer all these questions. I do not want to answer all these questions and feel like I'm in an interrogation. And that's what Paul does. It's just random, rapid-fire questions. So then we have Clifton, Tori, Joy, Ace, and Carmen. They're all meeting up to do some indoor golf. Clifton is like, we met Carmen, she's cool. But once I got a little closer, I saw that she had contacts in. And when they zoomed in, and this heifer has on blue contacts like this, I have such a problem with my African American people that choose to wear color contacts. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's one thing if you are going to wear maybe a hazel, okay? But for you to get crayon blue contacts and you out here looking like, what was them people, what's that show? Was it Game of Thrones? Some people in their eyes was lighting up blue, the zombies or whatever. It's unnecessary to do, girl. He said it looked like baby Jesus was looking at him, and I hollered, y'all, because it's like, girl, what are you doing? I also felt like Carmen did way too much at this event. Way too much. So Carmen was like, Tori is cute, but I don't like dress. So he's off. So then she was like, of course I know how to golf. This is what I do. And it's like, girl, we just asking. Not everybody knows how to golf. If you look at me, do I look like I know how to golf? No, but I can. Like, I've taken lessons. So, like, I hate people that Carmen is going to rub me wrong all season. I can feel it. So she goes over and she's like kind of flirting with Clifton. Clifton is like has his arms around her to help her swing, and she was like, "Can you hold my hair?" And she wanted him to hold it and to touch her hair because she said it's all real. Which kudos to you, girl. And she said because there are a lot of the other women here don't have real hair. I said they had dreads and twists. How do you know that's not their hair? Okay, Carmen, there's no need to throw shade, sweetheart. Just say you wanted him to know that your hair was real. A lot of men kind of don't care about that. There are some men that do, but like you were doing too much, doing way too much. So Clifton said that he got divorced 2 years ago, another divorcee. So then everybody starts to pair off. So Clifton is talking to Carmen, and then Joy is with Tori. So Ace goes and said she said her drink was low. She went over to the bar, was sitting at the bar looking at her phone. Joy and Tori are getting along well. They're playing foosball, and they're going like it's going good. They're flirting. It's good conversation. They talk about premarital sex. That lets me know that this whole cast is about to be fucking. Because everybody is asking about premarital sex. They about to be sexing. He asked her, does she like to feel it in her kidney? I said, oh, Lord, not your kidney. Who child? And she said, I don't know about the kidney now, but okay. I need all my organs to stay intact. I like Tori. I think Tori's cute. I like Tori's personality. He seems like he seems like he can really talk about a variety of things. So, like, I really like Tori. So, Clifton goes over to check on Ace. And he said because he doesn't want anybody to kind of feel left out. And she was like, no, y'all were starting to pair up. And when I see a connection, I want y'all to hone in on that connection. Work on that. We are all here to be supportive. I'm not here to block anybody's potential blessing or anything like that. And I hope Zadia and Aisha and Tasia and everybody else from last season, not Aisha, but everybody else from last season, I hope them ladies are watching this. Because that's how you handle this. If you see somebody has a connection, what good does it do for you to go over there and mess it up? Nothing. Or try to mess it up. So and then Ace just kind of says that, she's a person that she's good being by herself. She was kicking it at the bar. She had her drink. She was on her phone. Like, she was cool. So we get to the first gentleman's lounge of the season. So Cornelius walks in and they was like, who is this? Y'all knew that there was a blind date. Of course, he's the blind date. So Cornelius said his date with Ace was a very, very good connection. It was almost great. Laverne said his date with Carmen was great and that this could be it. Tommy said, slow down. It's still early. You only been on one date. Calm down. Maybe he ain't seen them blue contacts yet. Nonetheless. So Joy and Dakia, the men go around say who is like their strongest connection. I heard Joy and Dakia's name the most. Sabrina and Tiffany seemingly were at the bottom. Was it Tori? No, Wiley then said that he didn't really get a big connection from Ace, right? He said because he could not get past her talking about yoga and what she does for yoga all the time. So then Laverne was like, Ace is the epitome of a phenomenal woman. She is love. She is Oprah, Michelle, Beyonce, and Jill Scott. I said, wow. My thing is, Laverne, how can you say that Ace is them four women? Four of the greats. Four of the greats. How can you say that she is Oprah, Michelle, Beyonce, and Jill Scott, but then say that Carmen is for you? Why wouldn't Ace be for you? So they get down and Tommy tells them, take the ladies out, be gentlemen, but let them know one of them is not ready for love. Paul goes out with Tiffany. She's excited. And she's hoping that there are not too many questions, okay? So he gets there and she tells him, I don't want to answer all these damn questions now. And she asks him, does he want to play 21 questions? And I said, well, I mean, that's basically what Paul be doing. So Paul said, so Tiffany was telling him she doesn't like to answer a bunch of questions because he says what's one thing about her that he will be surprised to know. And I kind of feel like that's an icebreaker at the job question. That's something that you ask when you're in school and you're getting to know your classmates. I didn't like that either. That's kind of weird. And I felt Tiffany when she was like, conversation, like you get to know me through conversation. So she tells him, she starts asking him a bunch of questions and he was, like kind of stuttering. And it's like, but that's what you're doing to her. Not as fast, not as rapid fire, but it's basically the same thing you're doing to her. She don't want to answer all them damn questions. Paul needs to learn how to have a conversation where questions just come up organically in it, and he doesn't know how to do that. So he tells Tiffany that he does not like fluff questions. She says she does. I said, well, damn. Okay. So he tells Tiffany she is not ready for love, and she said, did I just get sent the fuck home? And I said, oh, they cussing. They cussing on. Then she said, but she's not bothered in her confessional. She said she's not bothered, and she thinks Paul is just mad that he did not connect with her, and she regrets nothing. No, you are bothered because your reaction was, did I just get sent the fuck home? You are bothered, Tiffany. I don't think Tiffany was right for the process. Because it seemed like Tiffany didn't really want, like, I get her wanting to have more organic conversations and stuff like that, but you also just got to play along with people while you're on a date. So if Paul wants to ask a bunch of questions, girl, just answer Paul's questions, and then just don't go back on dates with Paul. But you can't come across a certain negative way because you know he's going to go back and tell the other guys about that. But I feel like Tiffany has rubbed a couple people wrong, so oh well. So then Wiley takes Ace out, and Ace says she's looking for someone that she can be all facets of herself with. And Wiley said that he is ready to start a family. So next thing you know, Wiley like stands up and gets like real like this close to her and starts talking to her about what the guys thought. And I said, Wiley, why did you stand up on her like that? I didn't like that at all. Like, I'm sure it wasn't, I don't know. I didn't like that. I was like, why is he standing up? Don't stand up over me to tell me what you and the rest of the men talked about. So he tells her that she is ready to love, and so she feels that she just needs to be more vulnerable and open with everybody throughout the process, and she's gonna, take the feedback and kind of work towards it. I thought it was a good episode. Like I said, I liked this cast way better than I liked last season's cast. These people, even though it's a lot of divorcees, they seem more, they seem less catty for sure. A lot of them actually seem more willing and ready for love as opposed to last season where everybody was still I'm just trying to really figure out. And it seemed like a lot of them waited until the last minute to even attempt to make like strong connections. They really just enjoyed going on all these free dates. So if you have not already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it, hop in the comment section, and let's talk about this episode. How did you guys feel about it? What do you guys think about Carmen? What do y'all think about color contacts? Let me know what you guys think about the matches so far, and I will catch you guys in the next one.